Welcome to episode 3. So in the first episode, I really wanted to dive deep into my life story and then talk about my fitness journey and how I got into coaching. And then episode 2 was all about my spirituality and my faith journey. And I want this specific episode to be about body image, self-worth. And I also want to tell you guys how it was being the skinny girl and how that felt for me. Whether you're on the thinner side or you're on the other end of the spectrum where you're overweight, I want you guys to know that you are worthy no matter what you look like physically. And I want you guys to also know that you're not alone with how you're feeling. And I'm gonna tell you guys that by telling you my experiences and my stories of how it felt to be skinny. There was a moment in time when I first started to notice that I was skinny. So I used to play Just Dance. Everyone played Just Dance around the time when it was popular. So every time after school, I would go to my friend's house, we would play Just Dance, and I always played with my siblings as well. And every time someone else danced, such as my friend or my sibling, they looked normal. But then when it came to my turn, I felt and looked like a stick bug. I felt out of place, and I felt like I didn't look the same way that everyone else did. Like it looks so normal seeing them dance. But then when you see someone that's skinny dancing, something kind of seems off. And after that moment, that's when I also started to notice that other things in my life, like regular activities that normal people do, I didn't look like them. I looked and felt out of place. That whole experience was the first time when I really started to notice that I was skinny and I was different from other people. Something else that I experienced when I was skinny is when I was around 13 to 14 years old. That's when I first started going out and partying. I was honestly very young when I started partying. And that being said, all of my friends would go into a car and we were all very bunched in that car. And since I was the skinniest person, I always had to sit on someone's lap. And the fact that I had to sit in someone's lap, I would always get made fun of for being how bony I was. They're like, oh my God, that hurt. You're so bony. It hurts to have you on me. I would get so many comments like that, and it was really hurtful for me. And a lot of people don't realize that comments like that hurt people that are skinny. A lot of people think just because being overweight and being made fun of for being overweight is more common, that calling someone something or making fun of a skinny person is not the equivalent. Something that's very controversial for some reason, I made a video in 2023 about this on TikTok, that skinny shaming is equivalent to fat shaming. I'm just talking strictly about the shaming part because no one should be shamed for how they look. We're in 2025, guys, so it doesn't matter what someone looks like. People need to learn how to shut their mouths because even if you're skinny, sure, it's more common to be made fun of if you're overweight. That shame and hurt is the equivalent for people that are skinny. I know it's very hard to visualize that if you're someone that's not skinny, but I know anyone that's watching that is on that thinner side, they know 100% how it feels. But anyway, that was definitely another moment in my life where every time I would party and sit on people's laps, I was always a small person, so I always had to sit on people's laps, and I was always called bony. There was other times in my life where people would tell me to eat a cheeseburger, eat this, eat that, you need to gain weight, you're so skinny. And little did they know that I was already eating a lot of food, but the fact that I had a fast metabolism, I wasn't able to really gain a lot of weight. So I was actually eating the same amount as a normal person was, except I had that fast metabolism. There's been so many moments in my life where I got made fun of for being skinny, and it really hurt me to deal with that shame from other people. Growing up as a skinny person and a very shy person, I felt very unseen and very unheard. I would always attract men that I didn't like. I never attracted people that I liked. No one would really look my way. I'm not gonna say that I wasn't attractive. I never thought or felt like I was ugly, but I just knew that I didn't stand out because I was so quiet and so shy. I also always kept my hair up. I never put my hair down because I knew if I put my hair down that I would call more attention to myself, and I always had my hair up, and people even questioned me about that. That's actually something I forgot about my past, but people always questioned why I put my hair up. I would always have a clip, I would straighten my bangs, put a clip, and then have my hair back. I could probably insert a clip so you guys can see how I looked. Not only was I not seen, but I feared being seen and adding more attention to myself. So I knew if I put my hair down, people would be like, oh my God, your hair is down, you look so pretty. I just didn't want that attention for myself, especially because I was just so quiet. From when I was born up until my teenage years, I never felt seen. So I went from that my whole life to then getting a lot of attention when I started working out and getting curves. It was a big drastic difference that I wasn't used to. I was always used to people not really looking my way or paying attention to me, to then having all of the attention. When I started getting that attention for the first time in my life, I didn't really know how to handle it. This is very hard for me to admit on camera publicly, but I definitely let that external validation get to my head, and I let that happen for a few years. I used to go to grocery stores and wear my gym clothes, or even when I wasn't in my gym clothes, I still seeked people looking at me and hoping and counting how many people are gonna give me a compliment or look my way. I'm not proud of that at all. I do give myself grace for that period in my life because I went from not being seen and getting any attention to then getting attention. So it's very hard to navigate that and not let that get to your head when you have attention for the first time in your life. At this point in my life, I'm not like that at all. I literally wear sweatpants, a t-shirt, a hat, and sunglasses when I go to the grocery stores just because I don't want anyone looking my way and I don't want to be bothered. But yeah, so basically, there came a point in time, especially when I got in a relationship with my boyfriend, where I stopped seeking that external validation. I realized that you have to have that internal validation within yourself and know that you're worthy no matter what you look like or whatever the case is. If you're getting your validation outside of yourself, you're never going to be satisfied. You have to love yourself no matter what part of the journey you're in physically. Let's say you're someone that gets external validation and you finally have your dream body. You're never going to be satisfied because you're going to constantly want that validation from other people, and you're going to have so much pressure on yourself to continue to do things to yourself, such as getting a nose job, getting lip filler, changing so much stuff about your appearance because you're not working on that inner love for yourself and getting that validation from within. If you're only looking for love when you get your dream body, you're never going to be satisfied. I've always been the type of person where I look for people's personalities and souls and how they made me feel over what they look like physically. Obviously, since I'm someone that works out, I would want to ideally have someone that also has like a nice body, but I always looked at people's personalities and souls, and it didn't matter what they look like. The right person is gonna love you no matter what you look like physically. And when you get curves and get that dream body, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to attract the right people from that. A lot of times you're attracting the wrong attention when you have that dream body. So I want you guys to know that no matter what you look like in your journey, you need to love yourself throughout the process. And something that really helped me when I was skinny is I always hyped myself up and gave myself affirmations. And I always pretended as if I already was the version of myself that I was trying to step into. When I was a skinny girl navigating the gym and I had that anxiety at the gym, I would hype myself up. I would tell myself that I was thick and confident. I always believed in myself and knew that I would get there one day. I still loved myself throughout the journey of being skinny, and that really helped me along the way. So I really want you guys to stop beating yourself up and thinking that you have to have your dream body to attract the person that you want, because the right person is going to choose you no matter what you look like physically. Something else that I want you guys to know is loving yourself is a choice. You have the choice to love yourself. The choice to love yourself is in your own hands. If you don't make the choice right now to love yourself, nothing is ever going to be good enough for you. Loving yourself is a choice that you make every single day. That inner confidence and the inner validation is what creates that change for you. That wraps up today's episode. Whether you're on the thinner side or you're overweight, I really hope that this resonated with you and you guys were able to feel inspired and just know that you're worthy no matter what you look like. I would love you guys to comment below and tell me any of your stories of things that you experienced, how that made you feel. You can also let me know in the DMs. Make sure you guys subscribe and I will see you in the next one. Bye!